HOA Karen's laugh was a chainsaw, loud and grating, slicing through the quiet evening air. She stood at the top of the stairs, her sister Lynn Karen smirking beside her, both blissfully unaware that their reign of terror was about to implode. For years, the Karen sisters had ruled the Willow Creek Homeowners Association with iron fists and louder mouths, bullying neighbors into submission over petty rules like mailbox colors and lawn ornaments. But tonight, their cruelty would meet a reckoning, caught on a grainy security camera they didn't know existed. The old man, Mr. Harold Grayson, was an easy target. At 78, with a bad hip and a cane he leaned on heavily, he dared to leave his recycling bin out a day too long. To HOA, this was an unforgivable sin, a personal affront to her self-appointed authority. She'd stormed over to his apartment, Lynn trailing like a loyal henchwoman, ready to deliver their usual lecture. But this time, words weren't enough. HOA wanted to make an example of him. "You think you're above the rules, old man?" HOA barked, her voice dripping with disdain as she loomed over Harold on the landing. Her floral muumuu strained against her frame, and her face twisted into a sneer that made her look like she'd just smelled something rancid. Lynn snickered, filming the confrontation on her phone, probably planning to post it to the HOA's private group chat for laughs. Harold, frail but defiant, clutched his cane and raised his chin. "I've lived here longer than you've been alive, Karen," he said, his voice steady despite the tremor in his hands. "You don't own this place." The words hit HOA like a slap. Her eyes narrowed, and something dark flickered across her face. "Oh, we'll see about that," she hissed. Without warning, she lunged forward, her meaty hands slamming into Harold's chest. He stumbled back, his cane clattering to the ground, and with a sickening thud, he tumbled down the concrete stairs. Lynn gasped, then giggled nervously, still holding her phone. Harold lay crumpled at the bottom, groaning, his glasses cracked on the pavement beside him. Across the street, 16-year-old Mia Tran watched in horror from her bedroom window. She'd been filming the sunset for her art class project when she caught the whole thing on her phone. Her heart pounded as she zoomed in, capturing Hoa's smug grin and Lynn's jittery excitement. Mia didn't like the Karen sisters, nobody did. They'd once fined her mom $200 for planting roses without HOA approval. But this was assault. Maybe worse. Mia's hands shook as she saved the video and sent it to her neighbor, Mr. Patel, who'd been feuding with the Karens for years. At the bottom of the stairs, Harold struggled to sit up, pain shooting through his side. He'd broken something. He was sure of it. HOA descended the steps slowly, her bulk casting a shadow over him. "You should have listened," she said, her tone mockingly sweet. "Maybe next time you'll follow the rules." Lynn, still filming, added, "Yeah, stay down, Grandpa." They turned to leave, their laughter echoing in the empty courtyard, oblivious to the tiny security camera mounted on the apartment building's corner, its red light blinking steadily. By morning, Willow Creek was a powder keg. Mia's video had spread like wildfire, first to Mr. Patel, then to the neighborhood group chat, and finally to the local news. The grainy footage showed everything: Hoa's shove, Harold's fall, Lynn's callous laughter. The headline screamed across social media: HOA tyrants caught on camera assaulting elderly man. Comments poured in, calling for justice, for arrests, for the Karens to be driven out of town. Mia, still shaken, couldn't believe how fast it had blown up. She'd only meant to expose them, not start a revolution. HOA and Lynn, holed up in their garishly decorated condo, were blindsided. "It's fake," HOA shrieked, slamming her fist on the kitchen table as she scrolled through the comments on her phone. "They edited it. We didn't do anything." Lynn, pacing nervously, wasn't so sure. What if they have more cameras? HOA, what if the police get involved? HOA waved her off, her confidence unshaken. "Nobody's going to care about some old man. We run this place. They'll get over it." But they didn't. The next day, a crowd gathered outside the Karen sisters' condo, led by Mr. Patel and Mia's mom. Signs read "Justice for Harold" and "End HOA Tyranny." Someone had pinned a crumpled flyer to a telephone pole with a handwritten note: Karen's crime caught on camera. The word stung like a slap. HOA peeked through her curtains, her face paling. Lynn, for once, was silent, her phone abandoned on the counter. The police arrived an hour later, their knock heavy and unyielding. At the station, HOA tried her usual tactics, screaming about her rights, demanding to speak to the chief, claiming Harold had provoked her. But the video was undeniable. The officer, a no-nonsense woman named Detective Ruiz, played it back for them on a loop. Each time HOA's hands hit Harold's chest, Lynn flinched. "You're looking at assault, maybe even attempted manslaughter," Ruiz said, her voice cold. "And with that video, you're not talking your way out of this." Harold, recovering in the hospital with a fractured hip and 2 broken ribs, wasn't surprised when Mia visited him. She brought a small bouquet of roses from her mom's garden, an apology for what he'd been through. "I didn't mean for it to go this far," she admitted, her voice small. Harold smiled weakly. "You did the right thing, kid. People like them thrive in the dark. You just turned on the light." The trial was swift. The video, combined with testimonies from neighbors who'd endured years of the Karen sisters' bullying, painted a damning picture. HOA's arrogance crumbled on the stand. Lynn broke down, sobbing about how she'd just followed her sister. The judge wasn't moved. HOA was sentenced to 3 years for assault, Lynn to 18 months for aiding and abetting. The courtroom erupted in applause as the sisters were led away. HOA's head bowed, Lynn's mascara streaking her face. Willow Creek changed after that. The HOA was dissolved, replaced by a community council that prioritized fairness over petty power trips. Harold, once he recovered, became an unofficial mentor to the neighborhood kids, teaching them chess on his tiny porch. Mia's video, though it haunted her for a while, made her a local hero. She'd exposed the truth, and in doing so, reminded everyone that even the smallest voice could topple a tyrant. As for the Karen sisters, their condo sat empty, a for sale sign gathering dust in the yard. Neighbors whispered that they'd moved to another state, but no one cared enough to find out. Their names became a cautionary tale, a reminder that cruelty, no matter how small it seems, always leaves a mark. And sometimes, that mark is caught on camera. The end.